And now you had worked with Aquawell for 10 years. You're still part of the board member and you're still trying to rise through the board of the circle. Why did you now decide, let me also set up my own business? When did PumpTech, the idea come about, and why did you decide to go through it?
So Aquawell being a consultancy firm for boreholes, I discovered that there is a niche in the service.
So for consultancy, they just used to look for clients and just help them map out the opportunities in terms of drilling a borehole.
Yes.
That's it.
Yes,
and then you used to get someone else to do it.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
So I saw there was a need for service. So when I saw there's a need for service, and there's company like Davis and Shatliff, they do service. Once the consultancy does the consultant, the driller comes and drills, then there's the people who come and install the pump. Then after a while, the pump needs repair and service. I realized there's a niche in there. One of my friends was in that, so he encouraged me. So first thing I did is get a second-hand Land Cruiser. The Land Cruiser was like 700,000.
Where did you get the money?
Went to the circle. Remember in the circle?
You had saved that amount?
Not 700. I needed 700. So in the circle, if I need 700, I just needed 230,000. Because in the circle, you are given 3 times your savings. So I used my the third multiplier. So I took a Land Cruiser and just started a service as a side hustle in the evening. So you would get some jobs. Please come and lift my pump. It's not working. Please come and install my pumps. I need a new pump installed. That's how I would work on it.
And you had learned all this just through your friend or through research? How did you?
My friend had research, so he kept encouraging me, you can do it as a side hustle. So for me, the Land Cruiser was a side hustle. Then I was still employed at Aquawell, so that's how it was.
And for how long did you do it as a side hustle before now deciding, let me now go out on my own?
What happens is that I started realizing that the side hustle becomes the main hustle. But I started realizing that the side hustle is making more than the main hustle. So
you're going to live more than 15,000?
So I'd gone up and I'd got more than 15, but at that point, also in that journey, I got married, and then once we got married, now we have a kid, and both of us are employed. Times in the journey of parenthood, you needed to check on your kids, so we felt that one of us needs to be flexible, and so that's how the journey of deciding PumpTech. I decided one day, because I have a Land Cruiser, I left and let me do it, and I didn't have an office, so my car was an office. So everything is in the car. Yes,
you consult in the vehicle.
Yeah, and I started it as a business name. I didn't start it as a limited company. So I started it as a business name. I just got a name, Pump and Tech. And I said PumpTech. Solutions. Then let me give solutions. And that's how it started as a business name.
Interesting. And one of the interesting things that I've seen such your quick trajectory, more so, what's it called, inspired by leadership. How was it now making that full transition? Because you're not literally done your business by yourself, but how was that particular transition for you? Whereby you used to depend on this job and you've been doing it as a side hustle, I mean. Now it's able to provide for me, now I want to set it by yourself. How was that particular transition like? You'd mentioned your wife also had assisted through that particular process. Just take us through.
Well, it's not easy. You know, now, there's always that fear. Am I going to make it? The fear of the unknown. To be sincere, that you have to conquer the fear. There's that fear of the unknown. So you're like, do I do it? Do I not do it? But remember, I told you I'm a risk averse. So also the risk averse came in now.
But if you're a risk taker, I can try to imagine your wife is the opposite.
Yes, but she was also pushing me. And I must acknowledge her for actually being the person behind pushing me. She's doing this, and I really acknowledge and appreciate. She's been the pusher behind and pushing. So that's how I decided one day, just give it 10 years down the line. I was like, been here, have done it. I think just allow me to go out there and just try other things.
Interesting. In starting any particular business, of course, there are always those challenges, because you had mentioned you're getting into a business that's very capital intensive. You had gotten a loan to buy your first Land Cruiser that's going to support you in terms of the business. What are the initial challenges that you faced in terms of trying to set yourself into the market and trying to find your way into now running it as a big business?
One, I would not employ permanently because I couldn't afford maintaining a monthly pay. So I would get people, you give them per job. If they go for a job, that's when you pay them. So that's why I started. It was tricky because remember I bought a second-hand car, it's an old car, so you share with the mechanics. Yeah, so you share the mechanics. So the challenges is I got a second-hand, but my budget could not allow to do a new. So, but that is where I wanted to start. And personally, I keep saying starting is
The hardest part.
The hardest part.
Yeah.
So I was like, let me start. So that's how I started. So with one Land Cruiser, then over time, got other companies that are selling their equipment, bought a Rory. Yeah, so that's how I started.
Interesting. And how is it, because through your journey, I think you were more exposed in terms of the leadership positions. You'd not literally done business on this particular scale. What lessons did you gather, especially from your earlier years, being that you're making your first transition now into running a big business?
One, a network is a network. I have friends who doing what I want to do. I have friends who were doing it. So I kept a friend close who was doing what I want to do. And I will be guided. It's always important to get someone who's gone ahead of you. And in this life, you have to appreciate there will always a person who is above you, a person that is in the same level, and a person that is below you. And at that point, I looked for a person who was ahead of me, who could now guide me and lead me and show me the way. And someone that I could run to and encourage me and tell me what to do and what not to do. So I had to look for a mentor, person who's done it. So that's one of the things that helped me to go through that transition. And as you say, business has seasons and business have times. You are not assured that you're going to get this business. So I remember that point at Pumptech, and I was still doing farming. So when I left Akron,
So what were you doing? What were you farming?
French beans. Yes, I've done French beans. I've done onions.
You're just doing them as just
my
trying
dad.
to.
My dad had a farm in Kantafo, so I went in there and just went to farming. So when this Land Cruiser is not busy,
Oh,
it
goes to the farm.
beans. I'm going French beans for export. I've done chilies. I've done onions. So I knew every Friday at least I would make some 70K for the chilies every week. So that's how I was surviving. And in business, you must be able to manage your cash flows. You must be able to manage your inflows. And at that point, one of the things I did is to make sure that you increase your income, not increase your expenditure. So that's why at that point, I didn't start with an office. My car was an office. I was a working office. So because at that time I could not manage to do the overheads of an office, bills and all that. So I didn't start with taking a big office. I started by just having a car and a phone and a laptop. So if you call me, you want a quotation, I just go to my laptop, send you a quotation. If you want me to meet you, I tell you, let's meet in the farm. Let's meet to the site and discuss this business in the site. So customer would say, I'm available to go to site. Kumbe, it's an office I don't have.
I prefer being at the site and see what goes up.
So that we discuss on site and agree. Yeah.